as a parent, my aim is never to fail my boys and always be a shining example to them, right? To be something that, to be a person where they will feel comfortable to look up to, as well as they'll be happy to say, this is my mom.
St. Katherine Pompy-Charles is a 28-year-old wife and dedicated mother of two adorable boys. She was born and raised in Carnage and is the eighth of 9 children. She came from a strong spiritual Baptist background, and the moral and values she gained from her parents molded and shaped her into the individual that she is today. Though she came from such a spiritual background, at a tender age, she was fond of a female Muslim teacher whom she admired, and her heart became inclined to Islam. In June 2020, she officially took her Shahada and assumed the Islamic name Taqiyya, which means heedful of God or pious. Mrs. Pompy-Charles received her formal education at Carnage Girls Government Primary, then to Mukurapo West Secondary, where she did business studies. After graduating, she ventured out into the world of work and got her first job at Pennywise Cosmetics. During her tenure, she did not limit herself, so she kept learning and developing by pursuing various courses in beauty culture, computer literacy, hospitality, leadership, branding, entrepreneurship, and psychology. In 2019, she applied to the Auxiliary Fire Service and successfully completed the entrance examination, aptitude evaluation, and medical assessment. Subsequently, she went on to the interview where she left a lasting impression on the interviewing panel, and as a result, she was accepted and began induction training in November of 2020. It was never one of her dreams to become a firefighter. However, her source of inspiration and motivation was her son's love for the fire pup Marshall from the cartoon Paw Patrol, and the desire to become someone her children would be proud to call their mom. The training process came with its normal challenges. However, being the first and only hijabi to train and pass out with the auxiliary arm of Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service presented unprecedented challenges. There were concerns within the organization about her way forward, as it was indeed a unique learning experience for everyone involved. Nevertheless, she applied herself and did exactly what was required. There were moments of self-doubt and overwhelming feelings, but with trust in Allah, her husband's unwavering support, mom's ceaseless prayers, instructors believing in her, persistence, and great determination, she overcame the challenges. She was able to achieve an excellent grade in the theoretical component of the firefighter exam. In the practical component, she was chosen to be a part of the prestigious precision drill team. However, her crowning achievement was being awarded the best female recruit in her batch. St. Katherine Pompy-Charles broke the glass ceiling for other possible hijabi firefighters in the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service and stands as a beacon of hope for the Islamic community. Today, she is currently attached to the administration office at the Auxiliary Unit, Headquarters, Port of Spain. However, her primary function remains to save lives, protect property, and render humanitarian services when called upon. Subhanallah for her journey thus far, as she strives for excellence, being a leading example and inspiration for others, and continue breaking barriers to showcase how the impossible can become reality.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to Islam Choose Me, right here on the Islamic Broadcast Network, IBN Channel 8. You could also view us on Facebook and on tegotv.com. And remember, we have a rerun every Saturday at 6 p.m. inshallah. I'm your host, Brother Mtima Sorwazi, the activist educator. And each week, we will share the powerful journeys of our brothers and sisters who have embraced Islam. Their stories of discovery, struggle, and transformation remind us of the truth that Allah guides whom He wills in ways that inspire and motivate us all. So, as by now, as customary, once you all see that promo video, you know we have another Emancipation Through Islam awardee, and this time in the new era groundbreakers, we have Sister Pompy. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Islam Chose Me.
Wa alaikum assalam.
And viewers, she got the memo. We matching by and we blending nice with the background. So, Sister Pompy, before we continue, let the viewers see it. You're awarding live now. In live. You can take off and show them it in live. Very good. Alhamdulillah. New era groundbreakers for national security, the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. I want us to start our discussion there because you are a fire officer.
Yes, I am.
In hijab.
Yes.
Tell us about that journey. A little bit about that journey.
Well, being the first hijabi, it brought about a spotlight and an awareness also. Being the first, I would have made history within the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service as the first hijab wearing firefighter. And to me, that was something really good, as what I was told by some of my officers. I actually broke the glass ceiling.
And the roof, the glass roof.
And it also served as a catalyst for change.
So you mentioned it was, well, of course it'd be a spotlight seeing, a Muslim woman in hijab as a fire officer, but you mentioned it also brought an awareness. Tell us a bit about what that awareness that it brought.
So with the awareness of me being the hijabi that I am within the fire service, the awareness was basically to the Muslims. There are a lot of Muslim women who they would be afraid, to venture into certain things, certain departments and organizations. For instance, because I'm the only hijabi, right, you would have never seen it before, because a lot of persons say we don't see Muslims in those organizations and stuff like that, right? However, I was brave enough to follow through and continue on that path and not compromise in terms of removing my hijab or giving up on the journey of becoming a firefighter. So for me, the awareness would be to the females, the female hijabis, that whatever they want to achieve, that they shouldn't allow the hijab to limit them from reaching for that goal.
And this, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but this is really an amazing feat, because you will hear people saying that Muslims not allowed in the police service, Muslims not allowed in the fire service, as though those professions are out of our reach, right? And whenever I hear those statements, I just frown on them, because there's nothing in the Constitution that says, to be a fire officer, police, or whatever, you cannot be a Muslim, And I really applaud you, for taking that bold step, And I hope that awareness, or they say, so other sisters could see that, hey, I always wanted to be a fire officer, or a police officer, or whatever profession that they have desire to be, they can become whatever they want to become. And I think it also, within that awareness, within the organizations, because as itself, the organization has no barriers for Muslims to be a part of it. You know, we may have individuals who may have their own hang-ups, but the organization itself, the Hijabi Fire Service, which is under the Ministry of National Security or Homeland Security now, you know, there is no barriers for anyone to serve in that capacity. And you know, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for serving our country at that level as a fire officer.
Yes, it is my honor to do so.
Yes.
And I will continue to do that.
Aye, aye, aye. So let's get back now to you before this fire officer journey, right? Tell us a bit about who is St. Katherine Pompy-Charles. See a hyphen, so I know is Mrs. MRS. But before we get to the MRS, let's go to the MS. You know, tell us a bit about you and you know what would have inspired you to take this journey to be a Muslim. And although we talk a bit about the fire service thing, I really want to know, you know, what really motivated you? Because you was wearing hijab and they say, are you going to be a fire officer? You know, I want us to hear that part also. But let's talk about you, that journey towards becoming Muslim.
So, me, St. Katherine, right? So, a lot of persons now would see me as a Muslim,
Right.
and they would hear the name St. Katherine, and they would sometimes be baffled, like, your name sounds Catholic, right? But I didn't always come from a Islamic background. I came from a Christian home, right? But over the years, I would have always been on the search for righteousness, so to say, right? So I would have gotten baptized at the age of 9 years old. So I was a child, and not much people would take that step at such young age.
In Christianity, or when you say,
Yeah,
as a Christian?
yeah,
Okay.
right? And since then, I've always been searching. I've always wanted that connection with God, because I've always believed that there was some purpose on my life with God, right? However, over the years, I would have ventured to different churches within Christianity,
Okay.
right? But I always had something for Muslim women. I would always watch them and admire them, right? So I liked Islam because of the way they dress,
Okay.
right? Not just for the fashion, because I am fashionable, yes. But because
Fashionable firewoman, all right, officer.
yes. But because of the level of modesty that it carries, right?
Yeah.
It's something that I would have gravitated to. So, growing up, as I told you before, if you can recall, my parents are spiritual Baptists when my dad is deceased, right? So I would always take my mom head ties and mimic a hijab, right?
Okay.
And she would say, I don't want a Muslim in my house, you know, because you know how most persons are when it comes to religion, you know how it goes, right?
Yeah.
So what I believe in is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So nevertheless, over the years, I would have still seen persons being Muslims, and I would still be interested in learning stuff. I have a older sister. She's a Muslim.
Okay.
And when I
Same mother and father?
same father.
Okay.
So when I would go to her home over the vacation, you know, she would have little Islamic songs playing, little duas and stuff, you know. So here and there I would have learned one or two things, you know. But my journey with Islam really started about 2018, 2019
Okay.
is when I actually decided that, I really want to be a part of this. I want to learn more about it. And I started learning, doing some research. I mean, it took me a good while doing the research because I am an overthinker. So I was like, I wonder if this is the right thing, because for me, I just want to do what is right. So when I questioning everything, right? I'm very inquisitive, so I'll question everything. So not until 2020 is when I actually made the decision that, okay, I'm not going to question it no more. I think I've learned enough thus far to actually make the decision and accept Islam. So on June 4th, 2020,
Yeah,
I would have taken my Shahada. Alhamdulillah for that. And I'm still learning.
Yeah, all of us.
Right? I am still learning. I mean, some persons may see you as a Muslim and think that it's a bed of roses, that you should be perfect, right? But we do falter here and there. But, we just have to pick ourselves back up and continue going. You would have mentioned about me going into the fire service as a Muslim.
Yeah,
right?
that is interesting.
So when
Or you chose that profession.
Right, so when I applied for the fire service, I was not Muslim as yet. Right. However, within the waiting period, I would have accepted Islam. After accepting Islam is when they would have reached back out to me and asked if I was still interested. And I did say to them, yes, I was, because I applied.
Yeah.
Right? However, I did indicate to them that, I am a Muslim now, and I'm not sure if they would accept me because I've never seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
And
only talk we hearing that, Muslims can't be this, Muslims can't be that. Yeah. So very interesting.
So, there were also persons who told me that you can't go again, you can't go into the fire service again because it's either you take off your hijab, and I would have spoken to them. I was like, you sure I could come in still? And I went through the orientation process. I went through the induction training, and here I am today.
Alhamdulillah.
The Muslim firefighter.
So I would have met your command. What do you call that? The gentleman I spoke to in putting in the award. Your chief of...
Right, so he is the chief staff officer.
Right, the chief staff officer.
Also known as the CSO.
Okay.
Right, that is Mr. Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah, so I would have spoken, when I first called him in relation to the awards, and I mentioned who I am and, what we like to do in relation to you and your profession, he spoke highly of you, but he was so proud. And I said, why is this man speaking to me on the fly? I said, but is your father? The man was very proud, and he even attended the awards too, and I say he was so happy of your achievement, not just as a young fire officer, but being the first Muslim to take that bold step and stick with it, stick through that training, everything. But you mentioned that you embraced Islam in 2020 when the world was going to end. You start afresh. You're real bold and serious, or?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, because
yes, I am.
June 2020, everybody telling themselves, well, boy, there is it. What didn't hit me in 2000, hit me now in 2020. All of us going to dead, but it was a real chaotic and confusing time in 2020. And I really admire that boy, to have that focus on life beyond, because taking that step to be Muslim, is thinking about the hereafter, not just this life. So that was a real bold step in the heat of COVID, and place was chaotic. I always tell people the world had stopped for 2 years, 2020, 2021, mid, let's say like half a part of 2020 into
2021.
Into like the early part of 2022 and all too.
Yeah.
And if you check that, I don't want a song like and say 14 to 24 to 14 months. Like some politicians, and they do know that is a year and a half or something. So, but I think from like about first quarter of 2020 into probably the first quarter of 2022, we were confused. We didn't know what was going on. People were scared, and here you are making a decision early o'clock that, hey, I want to be Muslim, and it's really, Allah guides hearts, we just think that this person took the Shahada, or this person, Allah is the one who guides the heart, and Allah was guiding many hearts during that time, before and now. So that's really, really good. Right, so we heard that journey, here a story of being a fire officer. We want to know more about Pompey. You understand? Because I know you have 2 young boys. Tell us about, being a new Muslim, right? Have this demanding profession and still finding that balance with your 2 boys that I know you're real. Yes, both. I love my boys. Even your CSO, so you shot 2 boys, she really care about them. So everybody knows. Well, if you didn't know now, you know now, viewers. Pompey really loves she boys. Have you heard about them 2 boys of them?
So yes, I do love my boys. I can't have it. I can't have it any other way. However, balance. I am still trying to work on balance. Right? I am still trying to work on the balance. But I would say the journey of motherhood, it's not an easy one. It's not so difficult either.
Yeah.
Right? But it's about knowing who the children are, accepting them for who they are, and working with them. So, for instance, well, long time, a lot of parents find that what I didn't achieve, I should achieve it through my children.
That's dangerous.
Right? So, they will try to push the children in a direction that the child or children may not even want to go into. Right? But for me, allowing them to have their own identity is most important, and just being the best support that I can be for them in that moment, in that journey, in whatever it is. Also, you would be able to agree with me, we are living in some serious times.
Yep.
And as much as parents would want to guard their girl children, it is just as important to guard the boys, right? And it is very important to acknowledge children, showing them love, not just saying, I love my child or I love my son, right? But actually showing them that love. So for me, I would hug and kiss my boys every day, probably 100 times a day, right? And sometimes I would feel like I haven't gotten enough hugs and kisses for the day, or sometimes I might feel like I didn't put enough love into them for the day, because, they're getting older and they about their own little daily routine, right? So they wouldn't be as much under me. They would be doing their own things. So, you would find like we don't really spend much time together.
How old are they now?
So they are 9 and 8.
Oh, critical ages.
Yeah. Right. So loving them is really important. Also, I would have started teaching them about Islam. So, well, the big one, he knows how to pray.
Okay.
Right. So he would pray in Islam in Arabic. The younger one, he would look on. He would perform the prayer, right? In terms of the movements and stuff. But in terms of the words, he hasn't yet gotten it. But alhamdulillah for everything small, so that is our little journey with
and the
motherhood.
young one is a transitioning.
Yeah.
I think the viewers will agree. I think you're doing a good job in terms of how you're introducing them, to this new way of life, right? And I know they're fond of you as a fire officer. They're happy the mommy's a fire officer, right? So that's very, very, very good. And just to put some context, because you're talking about growing up two young boys, right? We're talking about the society we live in, because we know, and the viewers know how challenging it is right now, in terms of what's taking place at a societal level, on the street level, in schools, what area you're currently living with your boys? What area you're in?
Well, we are currently in the west, right? So they would go to school there.
Okay, so we know whether it's east, west, north, or south, or Tobago, the place hot. The place is very, very challenging, and I applaud any parent who raising children now, right? Because I know it's a serious, serious time. So I like the conversation going, but I want us to take a short break. And when we come back, I know there's more that Sister Pompey wants to share with us. Right? So viewers, we'll take a short break. Go and have, I drinking some nice water. You see my cup here? Watch this cup. IBN, and watch this all day before I take that break. There we'll be talking about 20 years, right? So, go and have your drink, your eat, and come back, and we'll continue our conversation with Sister St. Katherine Pompy-Charles. Assalamu alaikum.
Never too early, never too late to recharge and hydrate. Get your daily dose the right way. Grab an oasis, now why wait? Never too early, never too late to recharge and hydrate. Get your daily dose the right way. Grab an oasis, now why wait? The greatest, the safest oasis for sure. Oasis, it's purer than pure.
Chic Leisure Limited, making life easier. Our renowned great tasting vermicelli comes pre-cut in regular and parch, packaged to make preparation simple. Attention all doubles vendors and roti makers, try our high quality pre-sifted bromate free all-purpose and whole wheat flour, low price and conveniently packaged. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Leisure Limited, Warrenville, Conopia. Chic Leisure Limited, quality you can trust.
Walaikum assalam. We are back with Islam Chose Me. Right now I'm drinking some water. And I'm going to mind Pompey business. Yes, St. Catherine. So before the break, we talk all about you as a fire officer, how you grow up, things, stuff like that, your children. We want to get into your business now. Tell us about your business.
Okay, so I will share some of my business
Yeah,
with you.
yeah. Drink some water with the camera.
So, not only am I a firefighter, but I'm also an entrepreneur.
You
So,
could be all them things at the same time.
you can be anything you want to be,
Well, let me hear about this entrepreneurship of yours.
right? So, I currently have two businesses, two small businesses.
I'm not sure the audience heard you. You currently have what?
I currently have two small businesses that will be big businesses soon, inshallah.
Hafiz, so we have a sponsor on board right now. Let's hear about those two businesses.
So, one of my businesses, the name of it is Double K's Gourmet Euphoria,
Okay.
right? So, that is a food and beverage business where I do smoothies, I do punches, I have the best kurma, and I'm not just saying it.
Kumar?
No, kurma. Right? I'm not just saying it because it is my product.
Okay.
I'm speaking based of the customers, right?
This thing getting serious.
It's something in high demand, right? So, yes, we do kurma, we do sugar cake, sweet bread, banana bread, all the stuff that you could think about, right?
So the next time I am here live on IBN, I should have, what was it? Double key. What was
Double
it?
K.
Double key punches and kurma.
Most certainly.
We ain't that all right. Hello, people watching this, watching it live on the show. Right? So that is one of the businesses. Let me hear the next one now.
Right. So the second one is Takiya's Creations, where I do pillows and customized items. So sleeping pillows, decorative pillows. That is what I do. I do customized items like shoes, headbands.
Like cups, like how this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once you want something customized, you can check me out,
So,
and you'll get it done.
so double K gourmet.
Gourmet Euphoria.
Okay. So double K gourmet euphoria
Yes.
and Takiya's design.
Takiya's Creation.
Oh, sorry, Takiya's creations.
Yes.
And if customers want to reach out to you or find you, because there are a lot of customers out there watching IBN, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, they can find us on Instagram.
Instagram, the same names.
Both names, yes.
So it's double K. Tell the audience.
So it is Double K Gourmet Euphoria
Instagram.
on Instagram and Takiya's Creations on Instagram also.
How you spell that Takiya's?
TaqiyaH.
Takiya's creation on Instagram.
Yes. Creation with a K and it ends with a Z.
You see? You see? I would have spelled Takiya wrong, and clearly I was not going to spell creation with a K and with a Z.
Yes, you have to be creative.
Oh, okay. So give them it one more time so they could get it good. You double K Euphoria. No fancy spelling.
Double K Gourmet Euphoria and Takiya's Creations.
With a K
And ending with a Z.
and with a Z. All right. So I'm trying to figure out this balance, St. Catherine, of fire officer, mommy, wife. You have to balance for your own self and now your businesses. So tell us about why did you go into that? Or have you been doing that before?
I have always had the passion for business. I never liked working for persons.
Hey, hello. You're serious for watching this.
Right? I never liked working. I always wanted to be my own boss, be creative with everything that I do because, well, the stuff that I would do would be things that I have to put my time into.
Okay.
Right? I'd have to bring out my creative ideas and, create things that people would enjoy. And it actually makes me happy to see them enjoy the stuff that I would have created.
Yeah, most creatives will tell you that they get joy in seeing persons enjoy their creation or their work now. That is nice.
Yes. But however, life don't always work out the way that we plan, right? So hence the reason I am a fire officer today, right? But I never gave up on entrepreneurship. I probably slowed down on it, but I didn't give up on it.
Okay.
Right. So I would still continue with the businesses, right? And I would try to find some form of balance between work, business, and home life.
Now it seems that from what we're hearing so far, it seems like you have a sort of handle, on trying to have that balance moving forward. So we hear about double K gourmet euphoria. Double K, your son's names?
Yes.
Bright. Hello. Bright,
Yeah, bright.
Yeah. Bright. That is nice. How do you feel to know that mommy have a business with their names in it?
Well, they are happy about it. They're excited, especially this small one. He always wants to be in the kitchen. But he's small, so. But as I told them, this is me creating a legacy for them.
Of course,
right?
Of course.
So probably in the next 5 years.
You gain that so long with those children, with their brains and things now? And
well, I don't want to be charged for...
Oh, child labor. All right, next 5 years.
Right, so we'll give them a little average of 5 years so that I would have more balance, where I would relax.
And they
would
push
take
it.
over.
Of course.
Right, so that is the goal behind it.
Of course. All right, so we are double K, gourmet euphoria, Tekia's creations, right? And I'm not pretending about nobody. I know. This is what I know. Drink some water and mind your business. Tell us about your publication side now. You're this woman in everything, Trust me. Fire officer, Muslim mother, wife, fire officer, entrepreneur, and author. Or budding author. How you want to label it? Author?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would always
Tell us.
I would always claim my titles with pride. So,
of course.
Yes. So very soon I will be releasing my first publication in the upcoming months.
Inshallah. Okay.
Inshallah. So it is something that I have been working on for quite some time. I've been procrastinating with it, but I'm getting it done. And it's something that I wanted to do from childhood, just never felt that the time was right. However, I think the time is right now, so I'm doing it now, right? The whole idea behind this first book with 1,000 more to come.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. So as I said before, I always believe that my life have purpose, and everyone is created for a particular purpose.
Yeah.
And living life freely without the awareness of your purpose doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just like cattle grazing and waiting to be slaughtered.
Yeah. So I've been on that journey for quite some time, searching for my particular purpose. I mean, yes, I may have skills here, skills there. I may be able to do things, but I needed to know what my true purpose was. So January this year, I would have actually started digging deeper for that purpose. And in that process is where the book came alive.
Okay.
And I actually started with one direction, and probably like midway through that, this other direction came for the book, right? And I was like, this is it. So I have put in the work for the book, right? And as I said, it would be released soon. I hope you're buying plenty.
Well, I'm still waiting for the manuscript to go through it, eh? Yeah, I'm putting it up here. I'm still waiting for that. So tell us what, or would you want to share like the topic of the book or what it based on? We have everybody peaked right now, like, come on, tell us, you want to know.
So the book is an empowerment book for women, girls, right? For persons who believe that they can't achieve, for persons like myself, because I am very critical of myself. I'm harsh on myself at times. So for persons who believe that they can't do it, or is either they're too young, they're too old, they don't have the resources to get it done, or one that I used to think like, who do I think I am? You know, because you know, sometimes people or situations would make you feel like you're asking for too much, right? You're asking for too much out of life. You're dreaming too big, your goals too high. But I can recall somewhere I would have learned that if your dream or your goals doesn't scare you, then it isn't big enough. Right? And this book is actually something that scares me still.
Okay.
Right? But nevertheless, I went for it, and it's in the making, right? So it is just a reminder to women, to girls, that you can achieve every and anything that you do put your mind towards once you have the determination. And a lot of times we tend to look to family and friends for support. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. But it shouldn't be a reason for you to not go for what you want, the goal, right? So basically, I don't want to share too much about the book, right? I don't want to go too in depth of what the book is about, but it is an empowerment book, and I think every woman would be interested in getting a copy, reading it, and actually applying it to their lives.
So. Now, when you were talking earlier, before you delve into like what the book is about, and I'm listening to you, and I'm saying to myself, before this program ends, I want you to look to that camera and speak to the young girls and women out there, only to hear you have a whole book coming out on that. But I still really want you to, because, you know, I think, and not just girls and women, we limit ourselves, you know. This is, and I like how you say, this is, who is me? This is not for me, you know. And I don't know who told us that and why we believe that we cannot achieve. We cannot go for something that we believe, you know, that we can do. And I don't play that, you know. You know, I have this saying of mine where I speak it into being, and I'm not speaking about go on the mountain top and shout it out, you know, but I'm saying, and I always say this also, that so you have to do something, and sometimes the first thing come to our mind is that nah, I ain't gonna get through. Nah, it wouldn't happen. And I'm saying, why can't we think, I'll get through? It go happen. And if you don't get through, or it doesn't happen, okay, move on. You know? But once you start to think that it will not work out, trust me, you done lay that path, you done plant that seed that it would not work out. You know, I don't play that at all. For me, I always getting through. And if I can get through, no problem, I go again. I regroup and go again. Right? So I really applaud that approach in terms of, and you said that is something you had since you were small. This idea of empowerment of girls and women.
Yeah. So I always wanted to write a book about myself. But this one isn't too much about me in terms of who I am and stuff like that. But it is actually for persons to understand who they are better and realize that, okay, I don't need to limit myself.
Yeah, can't limit ourselves.
And I shouldn't focus on who I am now, but where I want to be. Right? Where I want to be and who I want to become. Right? Because the book is more or less of a future rather than a present.
Okay.
Right? So it is as a guide, so to say, for the person getting from whatever point they are to a future destination that they would want to reach. So
yeah. Now, I'm not trying to dictate your pace. Well, I realize from this discussion, nobody can dictate your pace, right? But what I want to put into your mind, because this book sounding like it could also be workshopped, right? And that is something you could probably also look at. You know, not just selling the book to read, but organizing workshop sessions, you know, little group discussions with women, young girls, and use that book as a tool, because it's sounding like it have that ability to use as a workshop, as they're talking about it, taking it from one phase to another, you know. So I really applaud. So we're looking forward. How soon? How soon? No, listen. You have to come here and launch your book, eh? No, I serious, Pompey. You have to come and launch that book on IBN, on Islam Chose Me. So I'm waiting to go through the manuscript, you understand? And I'm waiting to hear, okay, Brother Mtima, I'm ready to launch, and trust me, we organize a real big party here, right? And launch that book right in IBN and get some pre-order sales and stuff like that. But that's all good.
Appreciate it. Sounds like a plan.
And listen, we launching the book, we drinking double K gourmet, double K gourmet. Euphoria. God, that high word in connected with me, boy. Punches and
Sweeties.
eating kurma, and we Takia Creations cup. One side of Takia Creation, next to it IBN. Watch now. We'll have a ball for that launch.
Yes.
So
we
how
will,
soon we can
inshallah.
look for that book coming out, inshallah?
So you can look for it by 2026, inshallah.
That's just like you're living in the West, boy. You realize 2026?
No.
You realize
So-
2026 have 12 months, eh?
So
I'm just saying.
So you want me to be precise?
No, well, okay, I will take just as how I accepted in the West, I'd accept 20.
Don't worry, you wouldn't have to wait 12 months. So
I would accept 2026, inshallah. So
that's
viewers,
right there.
huh?
That's right there.
Yeah, I know. So viewers, in 2026, we're coming back here, inshallah, to launch. I can't remember the name of the book, boy.
I didn't see.
All right, she didn't say the name of the book. So we come back here to launch Sister Pompey's book on empowering women and girls, right? In terms of taking them from one stage to another. And, you know, I really applaud that, and I'm looking forward, right? Not just for the launch of this book, but to see all the possibilities, right, that could come from you as a young woman, right? So, I remember I was telling you, in my mind, I saying, I want Pompey to talk to these young girls out there and women. I still want you to do that as we're winding up this show here, right? You know, and you could, unknowing to us, quote some passages from the book, or give it from your heart that may be in the book. I don't know, but you know, look at the camera and talk to these, because it's important. It's important for them to hear from you as opposed to hearing from me, right? So you being a young woman, young Muslim woman, talk to your sisters, be it Muslim or non-Muslim, talk to them girls and women out there. The floor is yours.
Right. So, hi ladies. So what I would say to you is be you, be true to who you are, never settle, and I wouldn't even say the sky is the limit. So you could aim higher than the sky, but go for whatever your heart desires. Support is important, but it's not the only thing that you would need, right? So even if you feel discouraged because you're not getting the support, in due time, that support would come. Just be focused, stay in alignment with God's purpose for your life. And this is not just for Muslim women, this is for every woman, right? Once you have a dream, you have a goal, be it how small, be it how big, continue pushing towards that goal. Be determined, and you will get there. It doesn't matter where you are starting, be it you're young, be it you're old, it doesn't matter. Just start where you are, and you will achieve success.
Inshallah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And for more of that, wait for the book launch. You understand? Or get a nice teaser there from that book. Alhamdulillah. What a moving and insightful conversation. Right? I want us to thank our guest, St. Katherine Pompy-Charles, Sister Takia. Get it there? Takia's Creations. Right? For sharing her story with us today. May Allah continue to strengthen our faith and guide us all on the straight path. If you have been touched by what you have heard and all that, know this show, like every other show, every other episode of Islam Chose Me, have been touching to you. Right? So if you have been touched by what you heard, remember that guidance is a mercy from Allah. Seek knowledge, ask questions, and reflect on the beauty of Islam. And if you want to share your story, contact me, Brother Mtima, at 479-4510. And if you want to sponsor this segment, like our sister Pompey, if you want to sponsor our segment or any other show on IBN, reach out to Brother Hasid Majid at 795-5900. I'll give you all of that number again. 795-5900. Join us again next Sunday, inshallah, at 9 a.m. And remember, we run on Saturdays at 6 p.m. for another episode of Islam Chose Me. Because every path to Islam is a story worth sharing. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
One thing that is quite clear